Now call to order the September 19, 2016 meeting of the Caney Independent School District Board of Trustees at 6:30. The minutes show a quorum is present with Mr. Johnson and Mr. Mixon being absent. Please rise for the invocation to be given by Ms. Harrell and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and honor the Texas flag to be led by Ms. Shipley.
Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for the blessings that you've given to us as a district and a community. We ask for your continued hand of guidance over us as we make decisions that affect those around us. In all we do, help us to honor you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, item 2 on the agenda is recognitions presented by Ms. King and Ms. Thomas.
I'm escaped.
Here, Ms. King.
Come on, you go ahead. Okay.
At this time, I'd like to recognize some outstanding staff members from Caney Elementary. The first person I'd like to recognize is Kelly Butler. She's a paraprofessional on my campus and just does an excellent job. Whatever you need, she goes above and beyond. The next person I'd like to recognize is a teacher on my campus. She's part of the curriculum writing committee in our district and is outstanding at what she does. Blakely Collins. My building will celebrate its 50th anniversary in 2 years, but it doesn't look like a building that's about to be 50 years old, and that is because of my custodian, Diana Ponce. And I'd like to also recognize one of our bus drivers. Among bus drivers, she is outstanding. She knows all her students by name and goes above and beyond working with her students for discipline and behavior and has the happiest bus I know, Cindy Walker. And when I think of people who I want to recognize on my campus, I cannot help but think of this person. Her name came immediately to my mind. My cafeteria is amazing, and it's because of Mary Rusbach. And I was also asked to honor a student, and choosing just one of my 767, this child came immediately to mind. Marco Telliente can always be counted on to go above and beyond, to be the example for every other student. If you're looking for an all-together kid, he's it.
Sorry, Blake. You have traffic issues, so that's not okay. Okay, I want to start with my outstanding teacher of the month. Her name is Miss Yeti Papa. Miss Papa is a team leader on our campus. She is a mentor for many teachers on our campus, and I go to her for a long time. She's an excellent person. We love having her on our campus. Next, we have our child nutrition employee of the month, and this is my cafeteria manager, Ms. Brenda Sisney. She takes really good care of us. My faculty members are very happy with her, and she gives us all kinds of treats, which makes teachers happy. So thank you for taking care of us. And the last one that I have here tonight is one of my students. He's a 5th grade student. He is one of those all-around students. He's very polite to adults. He is an honor roll student. He has great attendance. We love him. Mr. Noah Hopper. Great smile. I have 2 others, but they both were sick tonight. One, her son had surgery, and the other one was sick. So, thank you.
Item 3 on the agenda is consideration of the out-of-state field trip for Porter High School FCCLA, presented by Mr. Yancey and Ms. Booth.
We're here tonight to request out-of-state permission for Ms. Booth and her TAFE, the Texas Association of Future Educator Students, to compete in a contest in Denver, Colorado. It's a new contest that they've been invited to. It's called Toys That Teach. They will actually build a toy that teaches a concept. They'll compete with it, and when they win, they'll win scholarships and could even patent it and make some money for the kids in the district and things like that. So that's what we're asking for. The money for this will come out of Career Tech state funds.
Could we see it even if when she wins?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. We'll
When
bring
you
it
bring the winning, it'd be wonderful to see. Thank you.
back. That'd be great.
Any other questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve the out-of-state field trip for Porter High School FCCLA?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is approved.
Go get them.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
Item 4 on the agenda is open forum. We don't have anybody signed up for open forum. Item 5 on the agenda is closed meeting. The board will now meet in closed meeting under the authority of Texas Government Code Section 551.074 for the purpose of personnel matters, Government Code 551.071 for attorney consultation, and Government Code 551.072 for deliberation regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. Any action as a result of closed session discussion will take place after the board reconvenes in open meeting. Time is 6:39. Okay, the board ended its closed meeting at 8:04 p.m. and will now reconvene in open session. Item 6 on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Starting with operations, Mr. Gates.
Good evening, everybody. Give you a little status on where we're at with projects in design. We got the Caney High School renovation that we're doing there. That's about 40% finished with design. Pretty much have a new floor plan set up and identifying all the other work that we have to do there. The Caney Middle School is about the same position. We're about 35% through design, with the floor plans being about ready to settle with the fine arts addition, ag, and the kitchen. So that's going along pretty good. On our next elementary school, number 11, we have received the agreement, so we are now in our due diligence part of all of that. Hopefully to wrap that up in another 2 or 3 weeks. We still have a plan to put that out to bid sometime in December. Early college, that one is out to bid. We had our pre-bid meeting the other day, had 10 general contractors show up, so it's a really good turnout. It's a good time of the year to put something out because they've all finished with their summer work, so now they're going along, looking for work, so that bid's on the 29th. Our roof projects, Crippen and Kings Manor, are both about now 90% complete with them just tweaking the metal work on the roof. They'll start working at Caney High School. They started there, but if you're fixing to start evening shift, they'll work from 3 in the afternoon till 3 in the morning. So if you see lights on the roof, don't get too excited. They're just up there doing their work, so it'll be less problem for noise during the day. We've got some videos here, a few pictures. This is Kings Manor. You can see they're really starting to get cranked up. That's on the back side. That's where the kitchen addition will go. So they're getting started, and that's the paving. So we're happy to see that going along. This is Porter High School. All the foundation work is done. The structural steel is up. We'll start on the roof. And we have tennis courts are moving along. Next picture, we got a pour the slab, put up the fence, and probably another couple of months we'll be able to use that. Then the aquatic center, as you can tell out here, we finally got a little break in the rain, and they're moving along. About the foundation's poured. Now we're starting on the walls. So it should be about this time next month. We should see some of that place. I think that's it. Got any questions?
Thank you. All right, current student enrollment.
All right, as of today, we are sitting at 14,654, which is up 754 students from the end of last year and 838 students from Snapshot, which was about the end of October of last year. So, and that is a 6.07% growth right now. And when I presented this last year, you guys also asked about the LEP population. That has continued to increase also. And with our highest campus right now being Cavola and Crippen being right there with it. Questions on that? Just move right on into the second part. We were asked to do a report on the Wi-Fi on the buses. That new project we rolled out. We're still really in the process of rolling that out. We've officially not even advertised that yet or done anything with that. The kids have just discovered that they can get on the Wi-Fi on the buses, and we have broken it down by bus and of the ones that are wireless and how much is being used. Our number one bus right now is a bus that goes to New Caney Middle School and Oakley Elementary, and just in the couple weeks they've used 35.9 gigs of information on that bus route. And that's, again, without even letting them know that Wi-Fi is on the bus yet. The reason we have not officially done that, we're getting stickers. Josh has some stickers coming in. All those buses that are equipped are going to have a big sticker on there that does let them know that there's Wi-Fi on this bus. We also have not yet opened it up to personal devices. It's only working with Chromebooks because we can push down the password to get on the Wi-Fi there, so the students didn't have to do anything. We're in the process, Dustin and Josh have been testing personal devices. Our filter is supposed to work with those things through the system, but we wanted to ensure that before we flip that switch and allow that to happen. But as of right now, the testing that they've done with that has also proven that those things can be filtered. Our new filter system does not allow us to look at we can't pinpoint exactly what's been visited here like we could. I mean, we can still see if someone an individual student if they went to something they should have. But we got a new filter system that is better in so many other ways, and the price was better. But that one feature is something we're trying to get them to add that our old system has, which was that ability to pull up reports by most visited sites and things like that. So we don't have that capability right now with that system.
Does it look like they're going to be able to add it?
We're working with them to try to do that. They, like I said, we tried to give that to be part of the package before we even signed up with them, but there was the price and the other things they could do. It was a benefit to go that direction.
Remind me, how many buses are we beta testing right now?
Right now, we have 12 buses that are on routes, and then we have eight buses that are activity buses. And again, we have not advertised to the coaches and everyone that, hey, encourage your kids to do that yet until we have all this testing done. We're probably going to be rolling that out within about a week's time now. So that's when we're going to really let everyone know about this and encourage the use. So we were just very impressed by the amount of use so far. It's well over 100 gigs of data that's been used just without even telling the kids that they had Wi-Fi on the bus and they were using it. So
Now, the purpose of the Wi-Fi is to try to encourage them to do homework, focus on education, that, right?
obviously we like that. In places we've looked at, there's not a lot of places that have done this yet, but when you do that, it also helps with discipline, helps with, just keeping kids occupied on the bus. So again, all of our filters are in place, so they're not going to be doing inappropriate things any more than they could in school. So it just helps, they have something else to keep their attention there. Obviously, we'd love it for it to be homework, and that ability is there for those kids that do want to take advantage of that time. We broke this out also by our longest bus ride, and actually our longest bus ride right now is not near the highest usage. So the highest usage was in our fourth longest bus ride that has the Wi-Fi on it.
Thank you. Any other questions? Athletic, Mr. Sy.
Yes, sir. At the end of the year last year, y'all asked for a semi-annual report of the State of the Union of the stadium, and gave that to you in January, and that covered September through December. This one will cover January through August. As you can see, we had broken down there into quantity, revenue, expenses, reimbursements. We had 13 soccer games, one soccer playoff game. We events in the community room, we split it into 4 categories: either athletic events, New Caney ISD events, New Caney ISD taxpayer events, or non-taxpayer events. We had 30 athletic events, 26 New Caney ISD events, 16 taxpayer events, and 4 outside events. Again, fixed costs for salaries and utilities, and then the economic impact based upon that one soccer playoff game. Bottom line, we did show a loss for that particular time from January to August, but we had a significant gain back in the fall. So it balanced out, and we ended up in the black about 21,000. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Calvert, you have some guests? You want to introduce them, or?
John McKinney and Jeff McRae here. We'll talk about our work with that.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the board and Superintendent Franklin for allowing us to be added to the agenda fairly late. And I apologize for delaying getting the report to you guys, but we'll try to go over the high points real quick. And obviously, if you have any questions on down the road, I've also provided you my business card. You're welcome to call me anytime, any additional questions or for additional discussion. Just to kind of hit the high points, if you open up to the first page, you'll see 2 bar graphs, a red one on top and a blue one on the bottom. The red one represents your total delinquent tax amounts due on July 1st of the respective years. Just to kind of show, for 2016, that amount was $2,997,790 as of July 1st. Below that, you'll see your tax levy represented in the blue bar graphs. Unsurprisingly, anyone here, y'all had a significant amount of increase in tax levy with the growth that you've had in this area, as well as passing of various bonds, which has given the district quite a bit of revenue to work with. And one thing that I will highlight and point out is even with that increased growth in the tax levy, your total delinquent balance represented by the 2.997, like I just spoke about, has actually been lowered over the last 3 to 4 years. So we've done that through a lot of increased collection efforts and a lot of new availability, new opportunities and avenues for property owners to get those taxes paid. Moving on to the second page, you have a pie chart with various colors. This represents basically the years and the percentage of that total that's owed. So for example, under that 2.99 earlier, 34%, for example, in 2015, of that 2.99, approximately 34% is your current levy, what was just turned over to us as of July 1st of this year. This is important because the more current those delinquent amounts are, the higher probability of being able to collect those. So you want to see higher percentages for the more recent years. So for example, in your case, your 2013, 14, and 15 represent over half of your delinquent balance, which means we have a high probability of being able to still collect those as we're utilizing the various options that we have to collect those. Hopefully we'll continue to see as those older years are collected through various other judgments and tax resales that are paid, those percentages will actually increase, and we'll see higher percentages for the current years, which again will represent greater opportunities to collect those in the given years. Moving on, the third page, you've got some various statistics and numbers related to litigation, bankruptcies, and tax deferrals. There are avenues that we do obviously have to utilize, such as litigation, where we file suits. We've had approximately 65 of those based upon September 15th through August 2016, representing about $402,000 worth of delinquent property taxes. We've taken judgments on 31 of those for a total amount of about $202,000, and then we've had approximately 133 sales been posted for resale, representing about $194,279. So those are avenues that we can take to try to continue to bring in those delinquent tax dollars. There are instances such as like bankruptcies and tax deferrals, you'll see just below there, that our hands are not completely tied, but they're kind of put on hold temporarily while they're working through those process. Bankruptcies are monitored by our Houston office and our office on an ongoing basis as people file for bankruptcy and come out. We have really no control over that process, but we do monitor those so that if there's opportunity to submit property taxes as part of those settlements through the bankruptcy, then we do get paid for those. And then on the tax deferrals, those are the same kind of deal. If someone is over the age of 65, they have an opportunity statutorily to apply for a deferral. In those situations, the taxes will be due at some point, either when they sell the property or they pass away and the property transfers ownership. We do monitor those as well. In some cases, we actually have lawsuits in place, and we just debate those lawsuits as we go. But we're really kind of waiting for that process to complete through before we can continue the collection efforts. Probably the biggest thing I'd like to highlight is the payment agreements. That's what we really try to focus on, getting delinquent property tax owners into the office, get set up on payment agreements, because ultimately that's really the best avenue for anybody to keep them from having to incur costs for lawsuits and such. And we facilitate those payment agreements by in contracts that we put together, as well as we've kind of expanded our options recently to allow for greater opportunities to check by phone, where they can actually provide their checking account information, and we'll process checks on their behalf of the tax office, so those payments can be made without them having to do anything on a monthly basis. We've also added the ability to do e-checks where they provide the checking information, we process a one-time transaction to pay off different accounts. And then we've added additionally credit card options, so people with lower balances that want to just get it paid off entirely without accruing additional interest provided for by statute, they can make those payments. So it's really encouraged people to get on those payment agreements and get those paid off. We've also reduced the amount of time period that we allow payment agreements from 1 to 2 years down to roughly 4 to 6 months. And that encourages people to get those paid sooner so that they can move on, but also so that the entity gets their tax dollars. Finally, the last page there, we've increased our mailings this year. That gets basically statements in front of people on an ongoing basis, usually every couple months, so that they are reminded, hey, you owe these. That usually facilitates them picking up the phone and calling, coming into the office, asking questions, which again leads to us being able to get them some type of payment agreement. So in the end, based upon all the collection efforts that we've utilized over the last year between September of 2015 and August of 2016, we've collected approximately $1,147,499 in delinquent property taxes, penalties, and interest. So we appreciate the opportunity to continue to facilitate that and help the district, as well as help the property owners get the property taxes paid. A lot of what we do involves, trying to get people to pay taxes, but we do a lot of explaining about the property tax process as well. We found that people really do appreciate that. And in the end, everybody has to pay property taxes. Nobody likes it, but when they understand it, it goes a long way. So we appreciate y'all's continued ability to allow us to do that, and we look forward to coming back next year and providing even greater information, especially as the economy kind of takes an uptick from the oil industry. We've seen some effects of that, but maybe next year numbers will be better. So if y'all have any questions, I'm happy to answer those. Again, I provided you my business card if you'd like to have an in-depth discussion on anything or see any additional reports. Those available.
Thank you, Mr. Kenny. We appreciate you and your services to the district.
We appreciate y'all. Thank you again.
Okay, item 7 on the agenda is reports and proposals of board members. I'd like to take this opportunity to change hats for a second. As most of you probably know, the youth portion of the East Montgomery County Fair wrapped up this past weekend, and I know myself, I saw many of y'all out here attend to see the kids show their animals and stuff. I didn't get a chance to say hi to everybody. Appreciate y'all coming out. On behalf of the fair and the kids, I'd like to thank y'all for supporting them. And just to let y'all know, Saturday night, this does include Splendora ISD, but $500,000 was raised. It's all going back to the kids of New Caney and Splendora School District. So. It turned out to be a great time. Lost my voice Saturday night, so that's why I'm scratchy voice tonight. Anybody else have any reports?
Yeah, I wanted to say that, Mr. Sipe, I wanted to tell you that I thought Jim did a fantastic job on the many phone interviews that he did. There was multiple locations that he did some phone interviews, and I thought he represented our district well on those phone interviews, and because we had kind of a big win last week. So he did a wonderful job, and I want to let you know to let him know that he did really outstanding job representing our district on those interviews.
Thank you. I will pass that on.
Thank you.
Anything else? Item 8 on the agenda is a consent calendar consisting of consideration of minutes, consideration of finance reports, consideration of purchasing reports, consideration of personnel reports, consideration of approval of lists of those certified to appraise under approved alternative appraisal systems, consideration of changes to policy DEC local, and consideration of donations. Are there any questions or discussion? Is there a motion to approve the items on the consent calendar?
Second.
Motion's been moved to second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion's approved. Item 9 on the agenda is consideration to purchase parcel of land consisting of approximately 24 acres, presented by Mr. Grant.
Yeah, last month, Fred Fargo and myself met with y'all behind closed doors on a piece of property that we're interested in purchasing. What's on the agenda today is to allow you to give Mr. Franklin or his designee the right to negotiate that property and get it under contract. So what you're doing is you're giving us the right to go talk to them, meet with them, get a price and all that. Then we will come back, we'll come back to you for, after it's all said and done, and let you know what the price is before we close on it.
Any questions? Is there a motion to purchase parcel of land consisting of approximately 24 acres?
Second. We got it down here.
I got it. All right.
Motion been moved to second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is approved. Item 10 on the agenda is consideration of superintendent's employment contract presented by Mr. Calvert.
Yes, sir, tonight we're just bringing on Mr. Franklin's employment contract, asking for your approval as presented and previously discussed.
Are there any other questions? Is there a motion to adopt the amended language in the superintendent's contract? So moved.
Second.
Motion's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is approved. There being no further business, the meeting is adjourned at 8:27.